Hey everyone, welcome back to the Beneath the Layers podcast. This week I have a good friend of mine, Pablo. Pablo, I met him in middle school. I think it was middle school. And, became pretty good friends there.
Seventh grade.
Seventh grade, that's right. It was seventh grade. And I think you went to Ramona for a little bit, right? Because you ended up leaving.
Yeah, so I went there for my freshman year, half of it, and then I went to Rubidoux after that. I finished off my other half, and then I went back to Ramona and I finished up my last, I want to say 2.5 years because I didn't graduate. I ended up leaving halfway through senior year.
Yeah. So then I pretty much after senior year, I don't think we really hung out too much after that.
No,
I've seen him maybe a couple times within the past, what is it, almost 10 years now?
Probably.
Because our 10-year, when we graduate 2012, that'll be 10 years tomorrow, or next year, which is pretty crazy for us, but yeah. So what?
I hope it'll be somebody's plus one.
You can come as my plus one. You can come as mine. But what, growing up and going through high school, you said you didn't finish, so is there something that happened?
I just realized that I wasn't going to finish and that I wasn't going to graduate. And to graduate, it was basically told me I wasn't going to graduate. There was no way I could. It wasn't I was going to have to do a lot of work and extra credit, and even then I was going to have to do extra classes. Yeah. So at that point, I was already 18, and then so I was it was March, so I think we still had 2 more months of school left. Couldn't graduate till May. Yeah. So after that, I just thought about it and just decided that I might as well just go get started on working, start building something. And so I went into the same business as my dad with construction, fencing and all that. So yeah. That's what I went into doing and started doing that. And that's what I've been doing for roughly the last 10 years. Uh-huh. And I took a little break between that. I went to a culinary school. Oh, okay. Yeah. And I did it for 2 years. And then when COVID happened, all the restaurants shut down, and I was actually working at a nice place before that happened. I actually enjoyed that spot. Oh, really? Yeah, it was out in Dana Point. It was a steakhouse. It was really good. It was Michael Mina's Bourbon Steakhouse, really good place. And I was working there, but then COVID hit and everything shut down. So at that point, it was just all right, I gotta make money. No restaurants are open, so I went back to what I knew in construction. That's what I've been doing now. It's the last year and a half now. Okay. So ever since COVID started, basically that's when I went back to construction.
Do you ever plan on going back into working at a restaurant or something, or do you like doing this construction work more?
So I like construction work. I appreciate it because it has helped me a lot. Yeah. But cooking is something I definitely want to go back to, and I actually am. I actually want to go cook. I'm actually gonna go. I have a couple interviews at one is at a Michelin star restaurant in. Oh, nice. I'm moving to in New York.
Oh wow. Yeah. So if you get that, you're going to be headed out to New York?
Well, I'm already heading out to New York.
Oh, you're going anyways?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I have that one lined up, and then a couple other places, and I'm just going to give it a shot.
Yeah. Might as well. You got to take those chances when they come to you. Is it New York City? Is this where it's at? Oh, wow. That's pretty crazy. I've never been there. You've been there before?
Never.
So you're just I'm applying here and I'm headed out there, huh?
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. I can admire you for that. That's actually pretty cool. Not a lot of people can do that, honestly.
No, honestly, I can't take full credit. Honestly, I got the courage from somebody else too. They helped me kind of think of it. Yeah. And kind of encourage me in a way I can do it and stuff like that. Uh-huh. And but yeah, I was the same way as you. I could have never think I was gonna go out there and yeah. But yeah, it's something that I've always wanted to do, and it's kind of I kind of see it as an opportunity to get to a right or wrong, because when I was going to culinary school, they did have this program for where they were help you get jobs at good restaurants, either a Michelin star quality or a 5-star hotel, but a board, so it's a board, so it's send you overseas and stuff to Italy or England or Ireland, different places. I unfortunately wasn't able to do it because
No, it's fine. Go for it.
It's good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Because of I got into some trouble with the law and stuff like that, into some drunk driving. I'm not gonna lie, So I wasn't able to I took a lot of my money and stuff. So then so now that I'm doing this, I see it as like my chance to make up for that. And I get to go and try that. Like maybe it won't be like overseas, like in a different country, but at least like in a different state, like cross country, like
it's still a drastic change, I think. Yeah. So was there a moment, I think you said that somebody helped you kind of realize that you should take this direction. Was there sort of, what was it that they said to you that made you kind of be like, yeah, you know what, I need to do this?
Well, it was more so that like, they were moving out there.
Oh, okay.
So like in that way, it kind of gave me like more confidence. Like at least I know somebody out there. Like
just a little bit of comfortability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then just like speaking to like her about it, like she like, you know, just like, I don't know, like she, I guess in a way, like it just sounded motivating, like something I get to do in my 20s, like go live in New York and like do stuff like that. Like, and like I said, like it's something that I've always wanted to do. Maybe not New York, but I did always want to go like live somewhere else and like try the cooking thing again. Like I was always thinking like either like Vegas, because I knew Vegas had like good restaurants too. Yeah. Or like different spots like that. But like, so then like when this happened, like it was just like, I was just like, all right, like surely let me just, I actually like thought about it. Like I actually went like on a trip to Portland. I took like a road trip. Yeah. So like, and like in that time alone, like I really like thought about it and like processed everything, like just kind of like, you know, went back and forth in my mind, and like if, you know, this was like a good like decision for me, if I should do it, because like I'm big on like opportunities. I feel like sometimes they like present themselves and like you need to like take it. You gotta take them, and even though it might be crazy, like and like drastic, like you said, like, just kind of shoot for it. You know, when you get out of your comfort zone, that's where a lot of life happens. You know, that's where you can enjoy life the most. Sometimes when you just pull yourself out of that comfort zone and enter something new or something you're unfamiliar with, you end up liking it and you end up enjoying it. And it's not like you won't ever be able to come back to California if you didn't like it up there or something like that, you know. What's something interesting you just brought up was that you went to Portland. You took it was like a trip. You drove out there. And when was that? This happened, I want to say, what was it, like a month ago now?
A month ago?
Yeah, it was like the end of June. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that kind of helped you realize some things that you needed to do, right? Which that's something we have in common, because in 2017, I took a road trip to Portland. And I took it with some of my friends from college. You know, we're about to graduate, and so we're like, you know, let's go somewhere cool. And we decided to just go to Portland, but take a road trip and stop at a bunch of places along the way. And doing that, you know, I really found that I wanted to travel and see a lot of these cool things that are in the US, around the world, you know. And so a lot of my goals have now been placed around, you know, doing that, or at least being able to do that and doing it while you're younger. Because you mentioned like going to move to New York, it's a lot easier to do when you're like 20 years old rather than going out when you're like 40 or something like that. Was there one place other than, well, I mean, New York is your opportunity that you have now, but like you said, you mentioned like England, Italy, or other places like that. Was there one that you were really looking?
When I was doing the culinary program, the one that I wanted to go to and I did it was, I think it was Spain.
Spain, okay.
And then it was Italy. And then I had only because Japan wasn't available yet. Otherwise, I would have chose Japan. That would have been my number one.
That would have been the first one.
Yeah, that would have been my number one. But yeah, I've always wanted to go. And I've always wanted to live in a different country too. I've always wanted to live in like New Zealand.
New Zealand would be sick.
Yeah, and I like.
Would be cool.
Yeah, I think it's a good place. Like calm people, and like I feel like the culture there is good. And like I know, like especially like even like growing up, if I ever like do settle down, like I know like for kids, like going to school, there's a lot easier, like more affordable to like become stuff. So just in things like that nature, I've always like thought about moving out of the US just because I've always wanted to explore, like you said, like and like what you said, stepping out of your comfort zone. That's like one thing that's like, I think that's like what like we mentioned, like when it convinced me to go, like it was just like do something. Like I always think that do something out of your comfort zone, and then that's when like the most growth can happen. Like because if you just stay comfortable always, I just feel like I don't know, like you get used to it and just stay the same. Like
I mean, and I feel like we kind of have a similar mindset in that way. You know, some people are okay with just staying in one spot their whole life, but you know, there's people like you and I who feel like we need to discover, you know, and explore, and in that we sort of find out who we are ourselves, you know. And I think that's great that you're actually just, you know, whether you get that job or not, you're just heading out to New York. That's kind of like what I did here, actually, when I moved to San Diego. You know, I was already planning on moving here before I got the job, but just fortunately I was able to get the job, you know, at about the same time I was going to be moving. So that just ended up working out in my favor. But I always wanted to live here specifically. I know it's not too far from where we grew up, but it still was different. I mean, I didn't know anybody coming out here, you know. It's just me. The only person I knew was my little brother, because we both came out here. But other than that, well, I didn't really
you think you would have done it alone, even if your brother would have came?
Yeah, I was planning on doing it alone. But knowing my little brother's situation at the same time too, it might have been a good idea for him to come out here with me. So I just asked him if he wanted to, you know, and I told him, well, if you want to, then you'll have to find a job and then take a job out here, because you probably don't want to be driving back and forth, you know. And about a month later, he told me that he was having interviews out here and stuff. And so then I, you know, when I was looking for places to live out here, I took that into account and, you know, accommodated for him and everything. Yeah. So just me and him moved out here, both of us not really knowing anybody, just kind of
crazy.
Yeah, but it's been great. I mean, I love it. It's definitely not as hot.
Yeah, the weather out here is amazing. Honestly, it always is.
Yeah, it's always pretty good out
It was
here.
sprinkling right now over here.
Yeah. That's super random. I don't know why it's raining, but you live by the coast. Sometimes you get some sprinkles.
That's one thing we have in common. So you took a road trip to Portland too, and like, you just wanted to go to Portland, or what was the purpose?
Well, initially what I brought up, I was like, we should go to Vancouver, Canada. That was like, but I knew we only had a week because we were doing this over spring break. So we didn't have that much time. So we figured, well, okay, Vancouver, Canada might not be the move here. Like, we might not have enough time. So we, you know, we're just like, okay, well, you know, Portland's kind of, you know, it's the next state over, but it's pretty high up at the top of Oregon.
Did you go to Seattle too when you were out there?
No, we didn't go to Seattle during that trip. I have been to Seattle like a couple years ago. I flew out there. I didn't drive there, but Portland we took a road trip to, which was pretty cool because we spent a week and we stayed for 2 days at the Redwoods National Forest. We camped out there. From the Redwoods, we drove to Portland, where we stayed there for 2 days. We stayed there. We had all our camping stuff, but we stayed in a hotel there because there wasn't really any place to camp, like, you know, in the middle of the city. At least not that we found. And then we came back down, and we were supposed to stay at Crater Lake, but Crater Lake was snowed in at that time. And so we ended up staying at, I think it was called Smith's Rock. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No, I never heard of it.
It's a really popular spot for rock climbers, like rock climbers.
You do that?
I haven't done that like out in the nature. You know, I've done it at climbing gyms and stuff like that, rock climbing gyms, but I haven't actually gone out and actually rock climbed at a
Are you going to?
spot. That would be super cool. I would love to, but I would have to go back to the climbing gym and get all the technique down again, because I definitely am not where I used to be.
It's like different muscles you got to use for that too, huh? Yeah.
I mean, different muscles, but also you put a lot of strain on your ligaments, especially in your hands. So that's something you have to work up to, being able to handle and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that would be super cool.
Yeah, that would be cool to do. It's like super, like, that's intense. That's like scary, especially you get up there high.
Yeah, it is. But you know, usually in the ones that you climb up really high, they're attached to a rope.
Yeah, you got a rope.
So you just got to make sure you know how to do that, which I don't know how to do right now. So
I would still like bring like a chill to me, just like looking down, like being so high up, like
that'd be pretty wild. But then from there we actually drove down to, I think, San Francisco, and we stayed there one day, and our last stop was Big Sur. We stayed there one night, and then we drove back home.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was a lot of different places. The only thing that I would say about it is we didn't spend too much time at each place, which I would have liked more. You know, because the Redwoods was super cool. Big Sur was cool too, but we didn't actually get to explore there. It was more of like a stop and sleep sort of place. So we didn't get to hike around or look around. But
that's happened to me too when I went to San Francisco. Like, it was like because I went did a road trip to San Fran to a different time, and then from San Fran we went to Yosemite.
Yeah.
So we did like just those two stops, but it was just within like 3-4 days. So like we only spent like literally like maybe like 2 days, not even 2 days, like in San Fran.
Yeah.
And then like one night or like one day in like in Yosemite. So I felt like
Yosemite.
yeah. So we did like one hiking trail and that was it, and then we just kind of like chilled out there. It was pretty cool. It was nice. It was like I loved it. It was super beautiful.
Yeah.
Like that's why I wish I would have had more time to do more trails.
Mm-hmm.
And San Fran, like yeah, same thing. We got there and it was like we did a lot of stuff within like the time we were there, but we didn't get to like a lot of things. There's a lot to do there.
Yeah, there's tons. Yeah, there's tons of stuff to do out there up north. Yeah, Yosemite is one of my favorite places. That's actually the first place that I went to ever, like outside of like to like hike and like do stuff like that, like outdoor activities. So that moment was really mind changing
Honestly,
for me too.
That stuff is good. Like I wasn't into all that. Like maybe let's say like 2 years ago. Like
yeah,
I had like I want to say like somewhat of an awakening or something. Like
yeah.
I was really uncultured, man. Like I would never like you said step out of my comfort zone at all. Like I was I didn't know no better. Like literally I would go places and just the only thing I would think to do is like, let's get drunk, like let's drink. Like it's just like you don't really enjoy like you enjoy it because it's fun, I guess, but like not really because like at the end of the day like. I was like, you didn't really see nothing. Like, you know, you just spent the day drinking. Like, so now, like, I made it like a point to like do more stuff, like venture out a little differently. Like, you know, like don't just focus so much to just like just drinking when you get there. Like, focus on like let's go see something, let's go do something. Like, you know.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit lucky in that aspect because I had sort of a similar, I guess, awakening in that sense, and in that, like, from a young early age I was kind of like I want to like do these things, I want to explore, I want to like go and see these places, but you know, kind of growing up for me, maybe for you too, I'm not sure, but we just didn't have that many opportunities, whether it was because we didn't have enough money to go do these things or because the people that were around or our family just didn't do those things, so they didn't take us anywhere and like do stuff like that. But once you know, I think it was right when we turned 18, I was able to drive. You know, I had my license and everything. That's when I actually went with Isaac and Adolfo. That's what the first time we went to Yosemite. And then from there I was like, I want to do more stuff like this, you know. Yeah. Because it was like just being there, it's just completely different than
the nature.
In nature, it's just completely different than just, you know, being in the city and like being around all these people. Like when you're in nature and when you see, it's just a feeling you can't explain unless you're there. Really.
No, honestly, yeah. I can't take too much nature though. I won't lie to you. Like I like nature a lot, but after a while I need the city. That's why that's why I'm cool moving to New York, and I moved to Long Beach because like I like the city. Like I like being in the city, and then Long Beach was cool because like it helped me like pretty much check off 2 things off my list because I've always wanted to live near the ocean too. And like in Long Beach, I live near the ocean. I can like walk there and I'll be there like in like 7 minutes. Like it's just dope. So I don't know, I feel like lately I've just been trying to like do things, like cross them off, like I said, like the last 2 years after like my awakening, I've just been trying to like do things that like are interesting, that excite me, that like are fun to me, like this is another one, like I get to like move out of state and go somewhere else. Like the only other place I ever thought about living besides here was like I said, Vegas, because Vegas too has good restaurants and stuff like that. But then like when I visited Portland was cool. I couldn't see myself living there though. I can't see myself. Maybe Seattle, nah, neither. But like, so that's I was like, nah. But Vegas, and then so like basically, like I don't know about you, but like I feel like certain people, like you meet them sometimes, and like they help you just realize something. So like 2 years ago, like I met someone and like they helped me like realize like, okay, like I'm a little bit like uncultured, like I need to like do something, like, you know, like literally everywhere I go is just like you know, I'm not really doing nothing, like, you know, I go to Vegas, but like, you know, that's like, it's fun, don't get me wrong, but like I'm not really like I say, like growing, I guess, as a person, like, you know, it's not,
it's more of a standstill sort of thing.
Exactly.
You're not expanding your
there you go. So then like, so after that, like that's when I started, like, you know, I went to San Fran, I went to Yosemite, I went to like start doing all these like different like road trips to different places, you know, living in different places, doing different things. Because I realized, like, I mean, I lived in this city my whole life, like not this city, but like Riverside and like LA, like, you know, half my life Riverside, half my life LA, and like, you know, I never did these things, you know, like, you know, so it's just now that I'm older, like, you know, now now I'm finally thinking about it. Like, let's go do something. Like,
Yeah.
It's been working out great, and like this is where like it's brought me now. Where like now like New York came knocking, and I was just like, why not? Like,
why not just take the chance, right?
I've been doing this for like the last 2 years now, so like let's do a bigger step. Like, let's see what happens with this. Like,
Yeah.
like let's go venture out some more. Like,
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. So like you said, about 2 years ago is sort of when you had this awakening that you're talking about. So what sort of differences do you see in yourself in terms of like whether it's your state of mind or the way that you think about things after, that awakening sort of happened, and then compared to before when you didn't have
I was I want to say like I was a person that like was living carefree. Well, at least it would seem like it, but like not really. Like at the same time, like I care way too much. Like, but yeah, like I didn't know how to like for example, like I'll get easily like angered by people. So like I'd be at work and someone says something to me, I end up having a conflict at work because like I say something back.
Yeah.
And like to other people, it's like, oh, Paul doesn't care. Like, who like talk back to this and that? Like,
Yeah.
But in reality, that's not that I don't care. It's that I do care. I care too much to the point where like I have to like say something because I'm getting mad over it. And nowadays, like if they say something to me now, I'm just like, all right, like now I truly just it's just I don't care. Like it's just I don't have to get mad about it. Like I don't. So that's like one thing right there. Just learning how to control that. Also too, I was very like, I still have this problem. I'm not gonna lie, like too selfish. Like I would just look at like, I wouldn't really look at other people's like problems and like world problems and stuff like that. Like very like closed-minded and stuff like that. And I just feel like I was just like wrong with me. Like, so in that nature too. And then like I said, just like going out and only thinking about like, all right, what are we gonna get drunk at? Like that too. That's like one thing where I'm just like, all right, like I'm glad like now when I go out, it's like let's try to find somewhere fun, and then like like if there's drinks involved, cool. If there isn't, that's fine too. Like it don't really matter. Like it's just find somewhere like enjoyable, something fun to do. Yeah. And also just like just the way that I am, I guess. Like I don't know. Like I've tried to like I'm not there fully. Like I don't know. Like I've been trying to like mature more as a person, grow more, like actually like put in like effort. Like I still struggle with a lot of things. Old habits die hard. Like but yeah, like for the most part, I just feel like I've 2.0 Pablo 2.0 since that like, awakening.
So it sounds like you've sort of seen both sides. You've seen yourself as this person who sort of cared a little too much, and you also now, well, more so now, Pablo 2.0, as you mentioned, has changed in that aspect where you don't get mad as easily, or you think about things in a different way. So for somebody who might be going through something similar as you, what's some advice that you can give to them to sort of help recognize that transition's happening and to either let it come to them or, help push them forward in that direction on improving themselves a little bit?
I would say just take life's opportunities. And then, like I said, I'm not fully there too, so like let me just hone what I think. Someone is going through a similar thing. I just tell them that to take life's opportunities, and then don't be so close-minded. Like and to just take it as it goes. Like take the good with the bad, and always think that things. The way I see it, everything happens for a reason. Yeah, I truly do believe that. So like whether it's good or bad, like it happened for a reason. Like you're gonna get something out of it, or I don't know. Like maybe when something you feel like you lost something, like you're gonna get something out of it. Like it made you like so. Everything happens for a reason. So just keeping that in mind always, and like just staying positive and like never getting too low. Like I said, like I had my DUIs, and like and then I went through like a bunch of other stuff too. Like so like I just always reminded myself never to like get too low. Even days that like it was hard not to, like just tell yourself don't get too low, like, and then just from there just pick yourself back up, take life's opportunities as they come, and but think about shit, like think about stuff like more through, like like take the opportunity, don't be closed-minded, but then also just don't be so quick to also jump the gun at the same time. Find that balance. Yeah. That's
good advice for sure, especially finding the balance, because I know a lot of people when they think they have an opportunity, it might not be what they think it is, and they end up in a worse spot than they were before.
Yeah.
So I mean that's good.
I'm not gonna lie, that's what I'm scared about. Like with this move to New York, like I'm scared. Like it frightens me that I might fail. Like and then I'm stuck in New York and I'm out there and it's just like me and like it's like like so that stuff actually it frightens me. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like pretty nervous about it. Like even though like I do have like because all I have really is multiple like job interviews. So like like it makes me feel good that I have like multiple. So like if one doesn't if I don't get one, I have another one. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I am really going out there and like just trying to succeed. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, that's the first step, is trying, because you'll never succeed if you don't try. Right. So, as long as you are taking those opportunities when they come, I'm sure one will work out in your favor. Don't be too afraid of failure, because if you are, then that might creep up in your mind and keep you from taking that opportunity to begin with, Like, so if things don't work out, in New York, I feel like you can always come back, and kind of regroup and try again if you need to. So I think being scared, though, I think is a good thing, because I feel like because you're scared, that you're doing something, it's because this thing that you're doing is important to you, and if it wasn't, then you wouldn't be scared, you wouldn't be nervous, you'd just be kind of like, whatever, Yeah. So I think it's good. I think it's a good thing that you're doing here, or going to do. What did you say, in about a month or so?
No, I'm leaving actually next week.
Oh, next week. Wow.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do this with you. Like, I was like,
wow. I definitely did not know that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I take off on July 31st.
You're flying out there?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to take like a car or anything?
No. Well, yeah. So I looked up. So I already have a spot out there where I'm living. I already paid like the down payment, the lease, and everything.
Yeah.
And I looked up like where the restaurant was, and like it's not too far from where I'm at. I can always just like walk it, get a bike.
Walking's probably better, anyways.
Or like I was thinking about getting a bike.
Yeah, bike. Yeah.
Electric scooter, something like that. So just to like help me get there, but it's not too far. So I'm kind of just live the city life like that.
Yeah. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I've never really had a reason to go to New York, but now I definitely need to go and visit you. Because that would be super cool, honestly. I think it'd be one of the...
Well, if you do, Isaac's planning on coming over on November. He wants to have a Friendsgiving out there.
November. Okay. Yeah. I'll see. Yeah, I'll see if I can come with... I know it depends on when, because I sometimes go out to visit my mom on Thanksgiving. She lives in Dallas, so something to go out there. Good barbecue food out there, though, for sure. Yeah.
I always wanted to go to Dallas because of the Cowboys, but
oh yeah, that's right.
Just visit the stadium, but yeah, that's the only reason why.
Yeah.
Besides that, more interesting way.
Yeah,
it'd be cool. What?
No, that would be pretty cool. Like, since you're a huge Cowboys fan, to just go out there to their stadium and see a game. Yeah. It's always different going to the home stadium than seeing them when they visit.
I'm happy that I'm gonna be in New York, because Bailey's gonna go there at least once.
Yeah, once a year. At least once a year. Yeah, that'll be cool too.
Yeah, I get to see the rivalry game.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have to go to like a Yankees game and stuff like that too.
But against Boston for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to go to all the rivalry games. I'm gonna try to go to the Nets versus Lakers when they do that, when basketball opens back up. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm into sports, and like that should just like it adds to the excitement, because like I know there's like famous parks out there too, like Rucker Park, or like people go play basketball and stuff like that. So I just getting a chance to go and see that stuff too is gonna be pretty dope as well. Madison Square Garden,
yeah.
Like, hopefully there's a big fight while I'm out there, so I can go, because that's honestly,
I'm sure, that's
a good dream. Like we used to like talk about boxing when we were younger.
Yeah, actually we'd go to your house and watch all the fights. Yeah.
So I was like, so getting to actually now go to see a boxing fight at Madison Square Garden, like I would like love that. So hopefully like there's something.
Yeah, there's New York. There's going to be a bunch of things that it's one thing that I've always wanted to do is actually watch a show on Broadway there.
Oh, you're right.
That'd be sick.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool. I don't know how expensive it is or not. I know it's kind of expensive, but that'd be one thing
honestly,
to do.
Yeah, you're right. I do have to do that. I think I am going to do that too.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
And then I was going to tell you, have you been keeping up with the Pacquiao and Spence fight?
I haven't. Last I heard is that they weren't going to fight, and then they were going to fight. Now
it's not. I think it's back on.
Now it's back on.
Yeah, so I think it's like in a month now.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Honestly, I don't know. I really like Pacquiao, but he's getting really old.
Yeah.
So I think Spence will probably win.
I think he's gonna. Yeah. Have you seen Spence fight? You like his style?
I watched. I don't remember who he was fighting, but I know for sure I watched his last fight.
His last fight was really good.
But I didn't see the one before that. But yeah, no, I do like the way he fights. Yeah, I think it's pretty. Yeah, I think he's really good.
I think his style is like so clean, like the way he just like, because he has that same shoulder roll when like he does. Yeah, and so like I don't know, but I think he has way more power than what Mayweather has.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I feel like he's like a deadlier like combination. Like he's I like him. Like he's probably my favorite boxer right now. Like, well, of course, Pacquiao's my all-time favorite, so I'm rooting for Pacquiao. But right now, I'd be like Spence.
That was like me because I really I started watching boxing. Yeah, so Oscar De La Hoya, growing up, was like the one fighter that I really watched all the time. So whatever fight he was in, I always went for him. And then he retired, and then kind of just watched all the good fighters at that point, whoever was up and coming, and but. As of recently, I mean, other than like Spence and a couple other people, like I haven't really been keeping up too much with it, because I don't really know these newer fighters as well, and it doesn't seem to be. It seems like it's dying a little bit, like the popularity of the sport.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because I loved watching boxing.
Honestly, whenever there was a boxing fight, like that was like the number one. I remember I didn't go to prom because I watched Mayweather versus Cotto instead.
Yeah,
it was the same day.
Oh wow! I did go to prom. Was it that?
It was the same day. Prom? Yeah, the Ramona prom. It was our prom.
Oh, that's right. Because I think it was Cinco de Mayo or something, right?
Yeah. It was Mayweather versus Miguel Cotto. Honestly, it was worth it. That fight was actually one of Mayweather's only like good fights where he actually like took some shots.
I mean, probably. I feel like prom is a little overrated.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it is, but people probably love it. But
some of these fighters though, like they're not like there's Teofimo, he's pretty good, and like Lomachenko, like some of these newer guys.
Lomachenko's kind of old though, right? He's a little bit older.
I think 30s. So. He's like 30s, young 30s. But
I know Triple G's old.
Triple G's already old. Like he's about to be out. Like I still think he needs the trilogy with Canelo. We need to see that. Yeah. And then who else you got? You got Jamal Charlo. He's pretty good too.
I haven't really watched him too much. The one fight that I was interested in watching as of recently was Fury versus Wilder.
Oh yeah,
that would be really.
That one got pushed back, I think.
Yeah, it got pushed back because Fury, I think, somebody in his camp got COVID. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somebody in his camp got COVID, so they pushed it to September or something.
He's gonna put a beating on him again, unless like Wilder can land the punch. Yeah,
Fury, I think, is actually he looks so weird when he fights, right? But he's really good actually.
Yeah, he really is. He looks like he wouldn't be like that type of fighter. Like he'd be slow,
he'd be slow and sluggish.
Like fat, like and it's just like no, like he actually knows how to.
He moves a lot, and it's pretty.
He's swift.
I like and I like he's like. I like the way he talks though. It's like he talks trash, but it's different. It's a different type of trash talk. It's like he at the same time doesn't like degrade anybody while he's talking trash. He's just like, oh, like I'm gonna put you down or whatever.
It's just it's just you're good. I'm just better than you.
It's like you're good. You're a good fighter, but like I'm better. I'm the best.
He's like he makes it where like he's not talking shit. Like you feel like he's like stating facts more so.
Yeah.
Like he's just
which I think is pretty cool. But
I like his style too.
That was the most recent fight that I was like looking forward to. And then now I guess I'll probably watch the Pacquiao Spence one. Yeah. That would be really interesting.
Don't want to miss that one. That one would be good.
Don't want to miss that one. But I really don't want to see Pacquiao get like knocked out.
That's the one thing I fear. Like,
it's like I don't want to see
I'm gonna be sad, man. I'm gonna be crushed. I still haven't gotten over the Marquez fight.
Oh wow, yeah. That was been a few years now too. But yeah, that was crazy. That was pretty shocking. Yeah.
I didn't expect that to go down like that.
So was boxing like the sport that you watched the most because that's what you watched growing up, or like?
Yeah. So basically, like same thing as you, like Oscar De La Hoya. Like that's who when I was a little kid. So I remember like we would have the like gatherings for watch his fights. I remember watching him fight Fernando Vargas.
Those are good fights.
Yeah, Mosley. Like back in the day, like when he fought Mosley the second time, I remember seeing all those fights. Like it was just He had some really good fights, honestly.
Yeah. I remember. Because we would all get together too in like middle school, high school, whatever, and box each other.
Remember that? That was a fun times, man.
No, yeah, that was fun.
Or was it
we would just put on gloves and just start hitting. Yeah.
That was fun. I remember we all went at it for like hours. You and Isaac had a good match.
Yeah, me and Isaac would fight all the time. I think I fought you once too.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I do remember that because we were fighting and then you hit me in the throat.
Oh, yeah, by accident. Yeah, I remember how bad.
And I was like, oh.
I know.
No, it was fine. It was funny. Yeah, no, it was all good fun. You know.
That's when you turned on the boosters and started giving you that work.
No, it was a good time though. I really enjoyed it because just growing up in general, I always liked playing sport, like not only watching but playing sports.
Yeah,
so that was always a big part of growing up for me. So
that's another thing I wish I would have done more when I was in high school. Like I liked boxing, but that was it. Like now that I'm like older, like now I'm into like more sports too. Like I ventured out. And I wish I would have been into like more in high school and stuff, because then I might have like I don't know, tried or something like for like different things. I might have like actually like gone to like class so I can like play sports, like I wish because that was like my one thing. I just had no motivation to like really be in school. Is
there like is it maybe the people that you surrounded yourself with, or maybe like it was just part of your family that you just didn't have that motivation for school, or you just maybe felt embarrassed and so didn't want to so you want to rather play off the whole not doing good at school sort of thing? Or what do you think that was?
Definitely wasn't the people, because I mean I had you, Isaac, and like all you guys graduated, so like I'm basically the only one that didn't graduate. So it wasn't the heads that I kept around me were like, for the most part, were all good people, good bright futures, but it was just, I think just more so me, for me school was just, I enjoyed it, but I'm more of a hands-on learner, I guess. So like even when it came to culinary school, like when it came to like the class stuff, like I wasn't too good at it. I couldn't do the class stuff. But when it came to actually like performing, because it was like two parts, like they would like critique you on the way you were in class, like remembering like temperatures and like remember how to like put away food properly, and like the mother sauces and like stuff like that. Like they would test you on that stuff. And then they would also like test you when you were actually working at a restaurant, because they had like a little like, have you been there to actually see like the restaurant?
I haven't been to the restaurant, no. I know that it's a new building though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like right there they have like the restaurant. So so they would like critique you on like how you did there while you were like cooking the food for the guests, or like sometimes they would put you as like waiter, so they would critique you on that too. Sometimes they would put you as like a food runner or a busser, like it could be anything. Like they'll put you on, they'll critique you like all aspects of a restaurant. So that also went into your grade too. So like for me, like that's where like I excelled. Like where it came to like, all right, hands on, like let me teach you how to do this, rather than like looking at it from like a book and a paper and trying to like remember like that.
Different people learn differently, and there's some things that I like. For example, I work in a lab now, and even when I was taking classes in school, we would learn about certain things, but I didn't really understand what was going on until I actually worked with it in a lab or did experiments, and I was like able to understand, because that's more of a hands-on thing, right? And I feel like, especially in high school, it's mostly like remember everything that we tell you, and not everybody can do that. And so I don't think that's it's a bad thing that you learn a certain way, because you still can learn it. You just gotta have a different way of learning it,
I remember even being in school sometimes too, like that would be like the best way for me to learn, like whenever I actually have the teacher come to my desk and like one-on-one like show me. But of course, like, for teachers, they can't be doing that every single day for you, and they have like a class full of 30 students. So it was hard to get like that, like the way to learn like that. So after that, I would just try to like focus, but I couldn't really focus. It was hard for me.
So when I think of culinary, I feel like it's also more of an art. Would you think it's true?
I think so, because I feel like, especially nowadays, like it's so important, and they put such an emphasis on like you eat with your eyes first. So like visual, like make it look appealing, make it look good. Like if you look at something and you see it and it looks good, right away you're going in with that mindset of, oh, this is gonna be good. Rather than you look at something and it's like, oh, like what is that? And then you're going with that mindset of, this is not gonna taste too good. So that's
true.
Yeah, it's a big emphasis on that. So and that's like, and honestly, that's what sucks too about me, is like I've never been too creative in that way with like, I've never been like one to draw or like like anything like that, or like play instruments or stuff. Like never been too creative or like artsy or nothing. So it's hard for me now when I'm actually like plating food and trying to make it look nice. Like having to envision how I want it to look on the plate, like it's like hard for me to do it. Like that's one thing I'm like struggling with, and I have to like practice and like I have to like really get down. But I would say that it's definitely an art in that way that you make it look good, you make it look appealing, you make it look like something beautiful. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, some food looks so good, you really want to eat it sometimes. Like,
true,
like you just like want to like stare at it, like wow, like like yeah.
Is there like a restaurant that you've been to throughout the course of your life that has been like the best place that you've ever eaten at, whether it was just based off of the food or the service or whatever the case might be? Like, what do you think has been the best restaurant you've been to so far?
I think there's this steakhouse in Long Beach where I live. It's called 555 East. I think that place might be like probably like one of the best places I ever ate at, just because the steak was. I love steak, so like
I also love steak.
Yeah, that steak was so good.
I'm definitely gonna have to try that place.
I had I had an A5 Wagyu there, the Japanese one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that it was just so good. Like it's just so delicious, and like I had that one, and then I had the American Wagyu too. So like I tried both of them. Like so it was just
both of them the same day.
Yeah. Well, the person I was with got one. I got the other one.
Got it. Yeah.
So yeah. So then I got to try both of them, but it was like amazing. Like that place was probably like maybe like one of the best. What else? I tried a couple other spots too. Like the one in Portland was pretty nice too. Portland City Grill, like that one was pretty cool too. Like that had like a nice view too. So I would say maybe like out of all of them, those two maybe like stood out in my mind the most. Like when I went there, I'm probably not gonna forget it. Like that's good to know, because I always, whenever I go somewhere, actually one of the places that I make a point to go, like if I'm visiting another city, state, or country even, is to go to a steakhouse. And try some steak there. Yeah. Usually it's a steakhouse or like a restaurant that you know, I looked up or somebody's told me has really good steak, because I'll try steak there. Oh, okay.
Don't know why steak ended up being the thing, but you know, I think it started with my very first trip out, and then I got a steak. I went to I had gone to London. I went there for a conference, and I was like, you know, I want to try steak. And so then, you know, whenever I went to any other city or state, I always tried a steak from there, and that's just been my thing, you know.
It's actually a pretty good thing. I don't know why I never thought to do that.
Yeah, and so my next, I'll be visiting my mom. I've had steak in there before because I visited her a couple of times.
I bet it's good there.
That's the next place. Oh yeah, no, it's really good.
I bet
it's really good out in Dallas. Now I know that as far as Texas goes, Dallas isn't like the number one spot to get barbecue food. I don't remember which county it is or where it's at necessarily, but it's still, even there, it's different than like what you would get out here.
Yeah, I heard Tennessee has really good steakhouses too.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah. I haven't been to Tennessee. One of my goals is to actually go to every single state in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, that's one of my goals, is to go and visit each state.
Man, talk to me 2 years ago. The only state that I had been to besides California was Vegas.
Oh, Nevada. So
yeah,
Vegas.
That's it. And now you talk to me now, and it's like I've been to like Washington, I've been to like, you know, different spots.
Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, so I think like that's really cool. Like getting to like see other states. So that you're saying that.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's a lot of states.
It is a lot of states. I haven't been to any East Coast states though.
This will be my first.
So yeah. So I've just been, you know, West Coast, all the states on the West Coast, and Midwest. Not all of them, but most of them. Yeah. So
I would like definitely have to go to Tennessee though, just because of that reason.
Tennessee, oh yeah, definitely.
If you want to go to a good restaurant though, like there's this restaurant called Cato. It's actually it's one of the only like Michelin star restaurants that's actually here in California, like Los Angeles area, I guess. Yeah. And it's really weird too, because it's like in a shopping mall. Oh really? But somewhere you wouldn't think it'd be. It's in Santa Monica. It's called Cato. Yeah, it's a really good like place, but like
I'll have to check
getting reservation there's like it's like hard. Like they like you have to put your name down and they'll get back to you and stuff like that.
It's like. It's not. They don't even tell you like if it's going to be months in advance. They just put your name down and they'll.
Well, yeah, the way because I never got a chance to go. Honestly, every time I made the appointment to go, something always came up. Oh. So now I had to cancel it. Like it always paid me. Like it sucked. I had to cancel. I never got a chance to try it. But so yeah, basically you go on their website and you put your name down, like the day that you'd want to go, and then like the time you'd want to go. Yeah. And then they'll like reach back to you like. You gotta do it like, let's say if you want to get it for want to book it today, you have to book it for like August 14 or something like that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a few weeks in
Yeah,
advance.
and they'll get back to you. They might not give you the time that you specifically wanted, but they'll like try to get you a time and like stuff like that. I don't know how it works or like how it gets reserved so fast, but it just does.
Yeah. Well, this is good to know because my girlfriend really loves food and loves eating out in places, and so the more places I know, the better.
Oh, okay.
That way I can take her with me.
Oh yeah.
But just speaking a little bit on relationships, you said that you mentioned to me before we started recording that you just got out of a relationship. Has being out of that relationship and sort of kind of those few months up until now also helped, kind of push you towards moving to New York? Is that one of the aspects, or has that just been something you always wanted to just do anyways?
I mean, definitely. I mean, I have like I know I have my family and my friends here and all that stuff, but I definitely do see it as like, I don't have like ties here, like, no kids, nothing like that, so definitely like it'd be the best opportunity to go now that I am like, not in a relationship, like, probably the best time to go, like, so yeah, I never really thought about it like that, too, with you. More so like, I kind of like I've kind of moved forward already from that, so like, it was more so me just moving forward with my life and like looking what's my next step, what am I gonna do now, like,
that's true,
what am I gonna do, like, it
definitely makes it easier because I mean I feel like maybe if you were still in that relationship you might not have decided to go because it's like you have something here that you have that's important to you too, but sometimes I think even if you were to be in that position, there's some opportunities that you just can't miss. So if that was to come to you and you were still in that relationship, it would probably be a lot harder of a decision.
It would have been like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, but it kind of made it a little bit easier. So that's why I'm kind of thinking, like you said, everything happens for a reason.
That's what I'm saying. That's how that's what kind of what I was gonna say. What goes back to that, like like at the time being, like of course, like you go through what you go through, and like you think, man, and then a few months later, like you just keep pushing forward, keep going. Like I said, don't get too down. Just think it happens for a reason, and opportunity comes. Like
I mean, and that's something that a lot of people tend to hold on to a lot. Is they either after a relationship they'll break up and think like, oh, maybe one day they'll come back, or maybe this and that, but sometimes just thinking that way holds you back from other opportunities that you might even find somebody who's 2 times better, but you keep holding on to that those feelings.
I get what you mean.
So it's pretty difficult for people to move past that, move forward. But you said you did. Yeah. And so what were some things that helped you sort of move forward from that?
Just realizing that like things maybe like suck now, but they're not always gonna suck. Yeah. Basically, like,
I mean, you're not wrong about that.
Like, and just more so just trying to keep that mindset, and just like, because I had, I mean, like we're all young, we all go through like the young like heartbreaks over, like you think your life's over or whatever. But like, so like just be sort of more like, now that you like more like mature, I guess, just look at it as like, all right, like sucks, it happened, but like I gotta keep my head level, like I gotta stay level headed, like I gotta make sure like my life doesn't fall apart. I gotta make sure that like I still got a job to do, I still got stuff to do, I still got bills to pay. Like
that's true. And those aren't going away.
Exactly. So it's just more so kind of having that mindset of just like, all right, just like push through. Push it forward. Like just keep going.
Pushing through, keeping it moving forward. Yeah, that's something that I try to do all the time. And one thing that I guess motto, I guess you can call it, that I live by is kind of goes along with that, is I push forward and never look back, sort of thing. A lot of people, I feel like, struggle with that sort of thing,
I definitely struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, you push forward, but you're always kind of looking back and thinking back and remembering the feelings that you've had before and stuff like that. But
no, that's what you're saying. Like you hold on to stuff like that, but sometimes it's not good.
Yeah, sometimes it's not good, and you never know what's going to be ahead of you. And so if you're always looking back, you're not looking forward, and you're not seeing what lies ahead of you. Yeah,
exactly. So, if I would have been like maybe like too blinded or whatever, like I might have missed this opportunity. Not thinking forward. Not thinking just go forward. I would have missed a lot of opportunities, honestly. Like like not just thinking like let's move forward and like just try it and just saying yes. Like that movie like that movie Yes Man. What is it? Jim
Yes
Carrey?
Man. Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah, that's a good movie. But yeah, I mean, you might not want to say yes to everything like that.
No, that's what I'm saying. You gotta find that balance. That's what I'm saying before, like find that balance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I mean, I think I'm actually really proud of you, you know, for taking that step, you know. Again, not a lot of people would do that. Would just be like, you know what, especially somewhere like New York, because New York is one of those places that are really expensive, right?
Yeah. And honestly, you would think that, but when I looked up the apartments, it was like around the same prices that when I looked up the apartments in LA. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, I never looked at the apartments. That's from what I hear. So.
Yeah. No, but I thought the same thing as you.
Yeah.
Like, it would be super expensive, but like, I don't know. The housing for the most part is not too much more different than LA.
Mm-hmm.
And then from what I saw, and then I don't know about like everyday living though. Like, I don't know about like. I don't know if like groceries over there cost more, if gas over there is more.
True.
That's the stuff that I don't know. Like maybe that's the stuff they're talking about.
The tax or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that could be part of it too. I don't know. But is there any? So you're going to New York, and I know right now you're in the middle of applying for like jobs and stuff like that. But is there any other future goals that you have in mind? Like maybe further down the road, do you want to open up your own restaurant, or is that something that you want to eventually do?
Definitely, that'd be so much fun. Like if I wouldn't say a restaurant for sure.
Yeah.
I'd rather have I've always thought about having like buying a lot like near like a nice area, like near the beach or something like that, and then just like setting up like nice like lights and like a food truck there, like a taco truck and different things, and then kind of like as I said, kind of what I wanted to do. Like if I ever have the opportunity in the future, like do something like that, open up something like that, like where it's like not a restaurant, but it's like, you know, like it is still my spot though, like my lot where like my tables are there and everything, and like my food truck's there, and like
that'd be really cool.
And just decorate it really nice, make it like a nice like outside like thing, and then that'd be like my like my goal. Yeah.
So this move that you're making to New York, you're not seeing it as right now as a permanent thing. It's just like kind of a temporary thing that you want to go and do, or maybe they might change your mind.
I'm definitely going there with an open mind.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna say no. I'm just going there with an open mind. That's
good.
Like,
I like that.
So we're like, you know, let me see let me see what happens. Like, I definitely don't want things to go bad. So like, I want things to go great. How great are they gonna go? I don't know, but like, I want them to go great. Like, you know, like I'm really like. Like it scares me, like failure scares me. Like I have like struggled, and like definitely in life too. I already had to like bring myself back from like struggles and like start all over. Like feeling like having to start all over again when I was already at a position, and so I just don't ever want to like do that again. So like this is the only reason why this move like pretty much scares me. Like maybe for some wouldn't make sense because like I basically have a career already, like and set, and I'm just choosing to like be like, all right, well, I'm just gonna like push that aside real quick. And just, let me go try out this real fast.
I mean, that's what a lot of people do who end up becoming successful. Actually, you know, they have a job that they can rely on and they're stable, but it's not really what they want to do. You know, they have a bigger dream or a bigger goal in mind, and so they take that step and they end up being successful. I mean, I don't feel like you're going to be successful right off the bat. And maybe that's probably what scares you, you know, because of course, everybody wants to know, like, this is going to work, you know, sort of thing. But as long as you don't give up, I think that's what's the key. As long as you don't give up, you will eventually be successful, you know.
Yes. So I'm hoping this is like just start something. And then like, this is the first time ever that I'm going to get to work at just one restaurant and just be able to put all my energy into that. Because every single other time, like, I've always had to work multiple jobs to like, because of everything going on. I've always had to like have multiple jobs, so I was never able to like just put my full like attention into one place and like see what happens, you know. Yeah. So this is also like I'm almost seeing it like as like that. Like I get to like finally see how I do. Yeah. Let me see how I do. Let me put all everything I got into just this one restaurant that wherever I work at, put all my effort into it, like try to succeed. Yeah. Because I've up to this point, I've never had that. I've always had to have like two places. So there's always like split time. I was always tired, like working like 16-hour shifts, like sun up to sundown. So it was just always hard. So like, so I'm definitely like, this move is definitely like, I see it as this opportunity to like kind of right a lot of wrongs and things. And also as a chance to like kind of like see stuff that I've been curious about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as if, like, how would I do like in the kitchen, you know, how would I do work living in a different state by myself, like how would I do in the city, like an actual city, like just different things, like, you know. So I just see this like I just see this as an opportunity, like something that I'm glad, honestly, that it presented itself. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's gonna be pretty good. I think it's gonna be good for you in terms of your development as a person, as well as your growth, like you mentioned before. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing your progression out there. I know I follow you on Instagram, so hopefully you'll be posting stuff and I can see how you're doing.
I will.
And then I'd love to have you back on, you know, after you've settled down and see how it's been going with you.
I would love to do something like that, like via Zoom or something, like have like
even Zoom.
How it's going.
I can make a point to visit you out there and just record it.
Oh, that's fine too. That'd be fine too. Like I said, I want to come out there with Isaac, like that'd be fine too. Like I'd definitely love to do that, like do it again, see how like the progress. As long as I'm not living like under a bridge, I'm like a bum. Like it's not going too well there.
Yeah, I'm sure that won't happen. I have belief and confidence in you that you'll succeed at what you want to do. So I'm looking forward to that. And thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate it. Is there anything that you would like to say?
This is fast. I thought
it's been longer than it feels. Yeah.
I know, right? No, it's been a really good life. I thought we were gonna keep going, but no, not like that.
Yeah.
Anything to say? Just to all my friends and family, I love you.
There you go.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you again. We'll looking forward to seeing you soon and hearing from you, and hopefully we'll have you on again.
Thank you, Larry.
All right. Bye. Have a good one.